Welcome to my Sitecore Diaries, your go-to channel for Sitecore and .NET. This is the ultimate guide to digital experience excellence. This video is of the series C# tutorial, and today we are going to discuss a very important topic, encapsulation. So this video is your essential guide to the encapsulation. I am your host Jitendra Ghanekar. I have given my social media account handle on the screen. Do follow me on it and stay connected. So what's inside this video? First of all, we will see what is encapsulation. Then we will see access modifiers. And at the end, we will see why encapsulation. Before starting the details of the topic, I am requesting you to subscribe to the channel if you have already not, and make sure to hit notification bell to get a latest update. I am sure you are liking this video, the content of the channel, so do not forget to like and share the video. Provide your feedback through the comment. So let's start. So we will start with first topic. First of all, what is encapsulation, and then in this topic we will try to find out how will you achieve encapsulation in C#. So encapsulation is a protective shield that prevents the data from being accessed by the code outside this shield. This is also known as a data hiding a data from one class to another. So encapsulation is basically a protective shield that whatever you are doing in the class, it is not accessible outside that class. Okay, it is the logic is hide within that class. That is called as encapsulation. Encapsulation is like capsule. You have a shield on the medicine inside it, right? So that is capsule. So that is encapsulation. This keeps the implementation details of a class hidden from the outside the world. So what is the implementation within that class is hidden out for the outside the world. You are not aware what is happening within that class. And to only expose a public interface that allows user to interact with the class in a controlled and safe manner. So only there will be a public interface. From that only you can access the class, so it is more controlled and it is safe because the logic is not available outside that class. So the question here is, how will you achieve this encapsulation in C#? So how will you achieve the encapsulation in C#? In C#, encapsulation is achieved through the use of access modifiers such as a private, protected and internal. So basically your access modifiers will come to your help to achieve the encapsulation. What is access modifier? That we will be seeing in the next slide. So now we will see access modifiers. We will try to find out answer of the question, what is the access modifier in C#? Access modifier is used to set the access level or a visibility for classes, fields, methods and properties. In previous video we have seen what is classes. In future videos, upcoming videos, we are going to see what are fields, methods and properties. So the access modifiers are basically the keyword which will help you to set the visibility or the access level on classes, field, methods and properties. So what are those keywords? What are those access levels? First is the public. So access isn't restricted. So public means anyone can access it. So if you want to allow the other class to access the thing from your class, then you should make that class as a public. Then you have protected. The access is limited to the containing class or type derived from the containing class. So only that class and the class which is derived from that your class, that only for those only the protected will be accessible. Then you have an internal. Internal, it is access is limited to the current assembly. So basically your name within your namespace, it can be accessible. Private, access is limited to the containing type. So when you make anything private, so that is limited to that class only. Protected internal, access is limited to the current assembly or types derived from the containing class. So that class is can be accessible within the assembly, within the DLL. Also the derived types derived from the containing class. Private protected, so access is limited to the containing class or types derived from the containing class within the current assembly. Okay, so protected internal is access is limited to the current assembly or types derived from the containing class, whereas the private protected is the difference. First is a protected internal and second is a private protected, and that access is limited to the containing class within that class or types derived from the containing class within the current assembly. So you have a XYZ your assembly, and there you are using a class A, and you have a PQR assembly, and there you are trying to access the class. You have a base class as a class A, then it will not able to access it. Okay, so it is within that assembly, but the derived class are within that, as should be within that assembly only. Whereas for protected internal, the types, whatever the types derived, there is no restriction on the assembly level. Okay, so that is the difference between these two. File, access is limited to the current assembly. Please remember, C# is a case sensitive language. So whenever you are using this key access modifier, it should be the way it is now displayed on your screen. So it is basically, if you say public, the P is not a capital. Okay, it is a lowercase only, public. Then private protected is also lowercase, protected internal lowercase. Okay, so those keys are keywords are lowercase, so make sure that you are used like that only. Okay, C# is a case sensitive language. So these are the access modifier. So if I summarize this, access modifier is used to set the access level or visibility for the classes, fields, methods and property. It restricts the access of the class or fields or methods and properties depending on the keyword which you are using, and those keywords are called as those keywords like public, private, private protected, internal, all those are called as a access modifier. Now we are going to see why encapsulation is required. We will try to find out why the answer of the question, why do we need encapsulation in C#. The first thing is a data hiding. Encapsulation helps in hiding the internal implementation details of a class, exposing only the necessary information through well-defined interface. This protects the data from a direct external access and manipulation, reducing the chances of unintended errors. So now you know what is encapsulation. Encapsulation is basically hiding the internal implementation from the outside the class. Okay, so why it is required? Because when if you are there might be some instances where you do not want the logic or the methods or the variables or the values to be accessed outside the word. If someone tries to access that, they can manipulate it. Okay, and that will create an error. So to avoid that, you need a data hiding. So that means we know the encapsulation. We'll see one example. Like this is the class which is named as a bank account. Okay, we have the variable. So if you see bank account class is a public, whereas this field is balance field is a private. Okay, you have two methods here, deposit and get balance. So deposit is public method, get balance is a public method, but the balance is a private method. Okay, so now whatever the deposit amount, that will be saved to the power balance. Okay, So performance necessary validation and update the balance. So it is updating the balance, whereas the get balance is only allow external access to the balance through the control method. So you know the field is a balance, but outside this bank account, if you want to access the balance variable or a field, that is not possible because it is a private one. But if you want to know the balance, we have given the method here get balance. Okay, so that method is actually providing you the balance. So you are hiding this balance field from the outside the bank account. So in this example, the balance field is marked as a private and the external code can only interact with it through the deposit and get balance methods, allowing the control access to the data. So this is the one example why we need an encapsulation. Because of this encapsulation, we can do it. The direct balance variable is not accessible outside the bank account, so no one can manipulate it. Now, second is the implementation flexibility. Encapsulation allows you to change the internal implementation of the class without affecting the code that uses the class. The external code relies on the public interface rather than the implementation details. We'll see example of this. Okay. So what we are saying is encapsulation allows you to change the internal implementation of the class. Now this is my class rectangle. Okay, we have a two field variable length and width, and then we have the constructor where we are passing the length and width, and it is getting assigned to the length and width. And then we have a calculated area public method where the area is getting calculated. Now this implementation can be changed later if someone wants to change that formula. Okay, now this implementation is for the rectangle, so you are calculating it for the rectangular, but assume that that is a square and you want to calculate that change is coming, then that complete changes within the rectangle class only. So it is internal to the class. Okay, so if you later decide to change how the area is calculated using a different formula, you can do so without affecting the code that uses the rectangular class. So from wherever this rectangular class is used and that calculate area method is getting called, okay, you want to change the logic, then there is no impact. You do not have to touch anything in the outside the class. Whatever changes which you are going to do, if you change the changing the formula, that is within this class, the rectangular class only, within the calculate area method. Okay, so this provides the flexibility, implementation flexibility. Now the third point is code maintenance and refactoring. Encapsulation makes it easier to maintain and refactor code. If changes are needed, they can be localized to the class itself without affecting the other parts of the code base. We'll again see the example here. Here is a class. We have a student class. Okay, you have a name and age, two fields. Okay, then you in the constructor you're assigning those values whatever is coming, and you have a public integer age property. Okay, here you are getting the you are setting get and set the age. Okay, where you are setting the age, you have the validation also applied. Okay, so in this example, the age property encapsulate the age field. Now this age is your property, okay, which is public, but actual value is stored in the private integer age. So this is your field. Okay, so what it is, because of which what you can do, it is allowing for a validation logic to be added easily in the future without affecting the external code. So you can easily add the validation. Okay, because see, this age is accessible outside, but deep field is not. So whatever validation which you want to apply, you can apply it here. You see here the age validation is applied. Okay, so that way it is easy, okay, for maintenance and refactoring the code. Okay, so these are the three reasons why encapsulation is important. One is data hiding. Okay, then second is the implementation flexibility, and third is code maintenance and refactoring. Okay, so these are the three things for which you need a encapsulation. So we are done for today. So today's topic, we have seen what is encapsulation and how you can apply those encapsulation using the access modifier in C#. If you like today's content, do click on like button and share this video with your friends and colleagues. If you have any feedback or any question or any doubt, then please provide that using the comment section. Of course, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and click on a notification bell so that you will receive the notification after I upload the new videos. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video.